Ah, yes. Nerd Adventures! I'm on my way. Let's do this thing. All right, yeah. Let's get it done. Let's get into this full spoiler discussion about Spider-Man No Way Home. And I know what you're thinking right off the bat. How does he fit the Santa hat inside the Iron Man helmet? Just relax. It's Christmas magic. Duh. Speaking of Christmas magic, man, sometimes I can be a Grinch about, movies and television and stuff like that. And, well, I'm happy to report that after walking out of Spider-Man No Way Home yesterday, my heart grew 3 sizes larger. I love the movie, man. I love the movie. I'm really, really excited to do this stream and hang out with you guys and talk about it. We'll talk about all of the good stuff. We'll talk about some of the less good stuff, some potentially even bad stuff. We'll talk about the different performances by different actors. Who stole the show? Who was the best Spider-Man in the movie? We'll talk about where we think the future's going for the character. And, I also want to get a lot of your takes. I would love to know what you guys think about the movie. So maybe there's some stuff I missed. But yeah, just in general, man, I'm very excited to be having this conversation with you guys. I'm flying in. I'm flying into the tower right now. I'll see you in a second. Now, look, I should say, and I think it's properly labeled or whatever, but we'll just kind of continue to say this throughout. Guys, spoilers! We're talking full-on spoilers for the thing, and we're getting right into it. Yesterday, I did a reaction, and I did most of that reaction as non-spoilery, but today, we're going full-on in on the spoilers, so if you guys could do me a favor in chat, just remind people, let people know that we are doing full spoilers. And I actually want to adjust something on Streamlabs real quick, so give me just a moment. I do have to put gambling on. I'm a man of my word, and I am going to put gambling back on for you guys. I'm also going to adjust, and let me just do this real quick. I'm going to adjust for Super Chats today, just because I'm feeling it. I'm going to adjust it to give 3 times the normal nerd coin that you would get back from your Super Chats. Okay, so give me just a second here. I'm going to turn the cloud bot off for a second. I'm going to turn the cloud bot back on. And it should be all good. We should be good to freaking go. We should be good to go. Hey, I told y'all to wait. I told y'all to wait for on them Super Chats so you can get the more coinage and all that. I tried to tell you. Okay, look. And also smash the like on it. I know we're all excited. I know we're all, hyped up, and we're really pumped to talk about the movie. Do me a favor, though. Smash the like button. Just move the finger down, move the finger over, smash the like button. Go into Grandma's room, give her a smooch on her cheek, then slap her up real good. But out of love. And then grab her iPad, grab her iPhone, grab her BlackBerry that she still won't get off of, and smash like on this video. Go into your little sister's room, open up the window, throw her right out. Make sure that there's something nice that she can land on, like a garbage bag or, a trampoline or something. And grab her phone, smash up like on the video. Mom and dad's room, go over there. Hey, mom and dad, just wanted to say I love you, and also give me your phones right fucking now. And then get on there and smash the like button. I need more likes on the video is basically what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So, where to begin? You know what I think we should... Here's where I think we should begin. I want to know, and you guys let me know in the chat. I'm keeping an eye on the chat, man, because I definitely got to know what y'all are saying. And I know the gambling's going to throw the chat off a little bit. We'll do our best here, okay? Do me a favor. How do you rate the movie? Out of 10. How do you rate the movie? Let me know in chat. Let me know in the chat. Hi, please say me name. I can't say it. Yabiya Shorts? Is that how you say it? Isaiah, welcome to the Nerd Vengers. You are a Nerd Venger now. Hey, I appreciate all the love. I will be getting into all the super chats towards the end of the stream. But let me know. I see a lot of 10s. I see a lot of 9s. Oh, man. Yeah. 11. Damn. We have a poll going on right now. 60% of you think this is the best MCU movie. That's awesome. How about this? Let's start this way. I will take you guys through my experience of watching the movie, and I'll sort of just tell you like what that experience was like for me, and then we'll get into my thoughts on the different elements of the movie. Yeah, let's do that. So first of all, you know, we had a great stream yesterday. We were talking about the Spider-Man rumor and all that, right? Or rather, the Star Wars rumor about Han. I felt like the energy was great. You guys were very, very generous, and it was just like a really good kind of stream. By the way, too, side note, I would love it, guys. I would absolutely love it if you guys went out and saw Spider-Man and you took some photographs, you know, of just the experience and how cool it was. Or if you're going to do that this weekend, please take those photos, post them on the BBS website, thedenofnerds.com. I'm going to be going through there and buying up a lot of those photos. And I just want to keep them as NFTs because this is just a really special movie, and I just want to have, I want to own a little piece of history, internet history of all of us, you know, going out and seeing the movie. So if you want to, if you haven't checked out the BBS, it's a really cool little site. Go check it out, post some of your fun stuff, and I will be going and buying some of those throughout the weekend. And you know what? Hey, maybe you guys want to buy some as well. Dropped it on Discord, not on BBS. Hey, it's all good, man. If you prefer the Discord route, that's cool as well. I just want to see and experience this together. What the heck? Are we still good here? I had a little glitchy itchy there. Are we still good here? We live, guys? I think we lost the stream for a second. Are we back? Yeah, we're back. Okay, that was weird. We lost it, and then we lost like 100 peeps too. Okay, well, hopefully that doesn't happen again. Okay, so let me tell you. Let me explain. So we had that great stream. We edited and uploaded the Doctor Strange video talking about that post-credit scene, which we'll get into today. We'll talk about it in a little bit. Whoa, okay, Posty. Hey, much love to you, Posty, but we can't have that shit on here, brother. We're going to get copy struck like you wouldn't friggin' believe over here if we try to do that. So I'll just pull this up, and then we're good. Yeah, holy cow. We almost lost everything. Sony was just like, yeah, we own the tower now. And I'd be like, oh, shit. So this is kind of funny because I actually thought our showing was at 3:30. And if y'all will recall, I said that over and over again, if you remember. I was like, oh, man, yeah, we're going at 3:30. You know what I mean? Like, can't wait. Like, so excited to go see it at 3:30. So this is your boy at 2:17. When I just double checked right before we left, I checked the tickets just to make sure they're in there in the email, and I see, oh shit, it's actually 3, right? So we actually had tickets for 3, and I was like, ah! You know, like I started to freak out. I was like, ah, shit, because we had like some stuff we wanted to do before the movie. So we got it all figured out, and luckily we got there just in time. I was surprised at the amount of people in the theater at 3. A lot of fun, you know, just people wearing Spider-Man shirts. No cosplay or anything like that. I feel like tonight's showing, because we're going with another couple tonight to see it at 7:30. I feel like tonight's showing is going to be like a little bit more intense, a little bit more nerdy. I'm going to take some photos, and I think it's going to be just a really, really good experience. So we get into the theater. We have fantastic seats. You know, we're enjoying the whole experience. The movie starts, and it starts, you know, we knew kind of how it was going to start because there was the first 40 seconds that were revealed online, right? And I was having a good time with the movie, but here's the thing, and you know, definitely overall, I frankly loved this film, and we're gonna get into all the positives. But kind of right away, there was this sense of like, wow, like they're kind of doing a lot right now. And there's some stuff for me that feels really sort of jarring and paced kind of awkwardly in the first third of the movie leading up into the bridge sequence, right? And I was like, man, I had this thought, and a lot of you guys that have been watching me for some time, and we've been kind of hanging out and doing this for some time, you guys know that if I don't like a thing, or if something like rubs me the wrong way, I have no choice but to come out here and talk about it in like a super honest kind of, way. And I was like, I was nervous. I tend to have this thought often when I watch these movies, because I know I'm going to get on here and talk to you guys about it and stuff. I tend to have this thought of like, oh no, am I going to be that one guy online that doesn't like Spider-Man No Way Home? You know what I mean? Where I was like, oh shit, fam. Like, am I going to be that dude, right? That doesn't like the movie, and then I'm gonna have to come out here and face it, and then everyone's gonna make me feel really, really bad about it, because like I have no choice. I have to be honest about it. And I had that fear because I was like, I don't know, some of this stuff's not working for me. Okay, guys, as soon as we get to the bridge sequence and you're with Doc Ock, it's improved and I liked it. But really and truly, it's when Toby and Andrew show up where it's hard to put into words how good it is. Okay, so I have so many thoughts about this. I have so many thoughts. I think that, just on the experiential part of it, I just found myself, and I said this in my reaction video yesterday, I found myself just whispering under my breath a lot. This is just so fun. This is so fun. And you can, there's so many things to do in a movie, so many things you got to worry about when you're making a film, and it's hard to nail everything, right? But you think about a movie like this, the most important thing is to nail it with the Spider-Man. It's the most important thing is to nail it with all of those characters. And this falls on the writers, it falls on the actors, it falls on the director. You know what I mean? Like, shout out to John Watts. Like, this was a monumental task. And it doesn't just work. It works so well. And I think the resounding, like, the thing of this movie is you have so much fun with these characters and with them, talking, conversing, like, that it carries the entire movie to the point where the experience I had and the feelings that I have coming out of the movie, like, we're going to see it again tonight, and I cannot wait, dude. Like, it literally makes me feel like a kid again, It's just so much joy wrapped up in watching these characters interact together. I feel like the writing is so on point. Okay, I feel like the writing for the different characters is so on point. There's a really interesting dynamic, because it's not just, okay, how do we accurately portray the characters from these universes and these stories from when we last saw them? That's one thing. But it's also, how do you get them to work together and have pleasing fan moments within that context, right? So just hats off to the writers, because you sort of establish this thing where Rico, welcome to the Nerdvengers. You are a Nerdvenger now, my friend. Where Andrew comes in and he's like really the Andrew we know. He's that Peter Parker. And Nerdvengers, we just watched Amazing Spider-Man 2 together Wednesday night. And what a special experience that was. But like, dude, it feels he's the same dude. Like, he's the exact same dude. And I love his interactions with MJ and Ned. And they're like, hey, man, prove that you can, like, sort of walk around on the ceiling and stuff like that. And then with the mom asking him the cobweb, like, all of that feels quintessential Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. And he absolutely brought his A game. I saw a lot of people, like, on social and whatnot being like, yo, Andrew stole the show. And I kind of can't argue against that. I personally love the Toby stuff, and we're about to talk about Toby. But Andrew does steal a lot of scenes, and he's so emotional. You know what I mean? And they portray him as a pretty vulnerable dude, and he is the most emotional out of all of the Spider-Man. You know, there's this really interesting moment where he says he loves you guys. He's like, I love you guys, to the other Spider-Man, and Tom and Toby are both kind of like, thanks. They don't say it back, and it's just juxtaposed. Again, it's brilliant writing. It like doubles down on this character thing that you feel from Andrew. You know, one moment that sticks out particularly was when he catches MJ, when he saves MJ, right? And he catches her and he's like, are you okay? And then she says back like, are you okay? And you see the emotion on his face. I mean, Andrew Garfield is such a good actor. He's such a good actor, and his vulnerability and just so good, man. Like, he really brings it. And I quite enjoyed his portrayal. Now, talking about Toby, man, the pop from the crowd when Toby came in, because there were a couple of big pop moments, right? The Matt Murdock thing, which we'll double back to. We'll get back to Matt Murdock because that was freaking awesome, and I could do a whole hour on that catching of the brick. I could do a whole hour on that. But you know, there was that pop, there was the Andrew pop, but then when Toby came out, guys, it's one of the coolest moments. Like, it's just one of the coolest moments. Like, and this is why, like, you know, reading leaks or knowing about rumors and all these different things, none of that can ever compare to the experience of seeing it, like, actually shown to you with all of the dressings of cinema and the way that this medium can evoke such emotion. Toby comes in, and man, I love Toby in this movie. And I don't know, you guys let me know in the chat. I was shocked at how much I love Toby in this movie. You guys let me know about that, and I did see a very generous, holy crap, $100 donation from Jareth Loveberry. Appreciate you, brother. Says, spoil all over this super chat. Great theater experience, very loud. Theater screamed when Toby got stabbed. Love all the experiences around this movie, and crazy excited for Multiverse of Madness. Indeed, my friend. Indeed, my friend, and I really appreciate the support. We'll go over your super chat again towards the end of the video. Godard Neutron, welcome to the Nerd Ventures. You are a Nerd Venture now. To me, I felt like what they did with Toby was so brilliant. It was so brilliant because he comes in, he's sort of this elder statesman of the group. He's a very good moral compass to juxtapose against Tom. And man, I might sound like kind of like a fanboy that's just melting down, but that is actually really and truly how I feel about the movie. The scene when after Tom loses May and those two Spider-Men are there, and you just see, like, it's unbelievable that you see how much these dudes care for this kid. Also, you know, knowing that he's a version of them, knowing all the things that they went through and everything like that. Man, like, we're just so lucky to see that and to see that work together. And I felt like Toby was specifically important to the chemistry and pulling all of this together. Like, he's really, really important to how it all works. You know, he establishes that this is what we do, you know what I mean? And like, he's obviously the older version of the character. He has bonding moments with Andrew, talking about how he wouldn't give up, how he made it work with MJ. You know, it's cool, you know, the back cracking scene. It's very, very fun, even just with those two together. But him with Tom, so important. It's so important. And it culminates in this incredible moment where Tom Holland is so angry and he wants to kill Willem Dafoe, right? And he wants to slam the glider onto him, and Toby catches it. And like, dude, it's just one of those magic moments that happens in fiction when all of these different things that have happened throughout the history of these characters comes to a head in a singular moment. And I think Toby holding the glider, preventing it from killing Goblin, and Tom pressing it down, but then realizing Toby is right and stopping. That is such an important moment. It crystallizes a lot of where these characters are at. And, just to sort of linger on the Toby of it all, particularly beautiful scenes with him and Octavius. And, man, like, we had a lot of questions, right? We had a lot of questions going into the movie, like, how is this going to work exactly? How do you bring closure to these other arcs? How do you do things like this? And to see that moment between Otto and Peter, I mean, y'all, that shit got me in the feels. That shit got me in the feels, bro. Magic, like in the truest sense of what movie making can do and what storytelling can do. It was magic. And I really just my hat's off to everybody that was involved in making the thing work, because it was so damn beautiful. It was so damn beautiful with Toby and Otto. I think Andrew has an incredible scene with Electro, right? Great scene, really, really great scene. Which, by the way, super funny. When he's like, I thought you'd be black, and then Andrew says, I'm sorry, man. Like, that's such a fucking real ass moment. It's so funny. It's so cool. And also hints, of course, at Miles and other things, going on like that. But I felt like that was a great moment. And you get like a real sense of closure with these characters, which is crazy. Like, bro, there's so much packed into this movie, so much going on. And yet, to get these little moments that really close stuff out, like when Sandman was, getting cured, and Toby is like, in the most fucking endearing way possible, saying to him, don't worry, we're going to get you home. Like, bro, we didn't know. Like, we didn't know. We didn't know how it would work with these different Spider-Man, and I'm just happy to report that I was beyond blown away. I was beyond blown away by how all of that ended up working together. And so, my experience of watching the movie was like, okay, shaky, okay, we're kind of getting there, we're moving along real quick, and then like it's as soon as they come in, it's just a different thing. It's a different thing. And I have so many thoughts about this. I apologize if I might be a little ADD all over the place, but they have now set the bar. Marvel and Sony have now set the bar incredibly high for what you want to do when you're playing around with this multiverse idea, and when you're bringing characters from already established series or franchises and having them play together, right? Like, look, I don't want to crap all over DC. This isn't about crapping all over DC, but let's pull out the wah-wah pad of DC and let's take a big old shit on them, because here's the deal. Here's the deal. I just heard that Ben Affleck didn't even see Michael Keaton during filming. For real. I just heard that Ben Affleck didn't even see Michael Keaton when filming for The Flash. Okay? I mean, look. This is now an incredibly high bar where, like, if Flash comes out and it feels like spectacle for the sake of spectacle, it feels like a big old goobly glob mess. It doesn't feel like you're getting to live or experience something with that Michael Keaton Batman. Like, if there's not a little bit of extra juice there and an man, oh man, like that's gonna feel bad, bro. That's gonna feel bad. So on the one hand, it's like, props to Marvel and Sony for doing something absolutely incredible with the multiverse idea. On the other hand, y'all better shape up. You know what I mean? Like, y'all better shape up. If you're going to try to play this game, this is now the metric. Like, this is now the thing. This is what you got to look to if you want to stand shoulder to shoulder with what I would consider to be, a monumental accomplishment, by these different studios. Just that has to be said. That has to be said. Okay, so that's there. Now let's talk about the ending, because this is something that I think is just really in my brain as I sort of continue to think about this movie and just absorb what I experience. This is something that I keep coming back to, where there are sometimes happy accidents or special things that happen when you're making a movie, right? The classic line of Han Solo saying, "I know," when Leia says, "I love you," right? An ad lib out of nowhere, just him saying that, and it creates this iconic cinematic moment. You know, there are times when you write something and you don't necessarily realize how layered and deep that thing is that you wrote. You know, there's magic moments like that, right? It is blowing my mind how good this ending is for the Tom Holland Spider-Man character, and this point is adjacent to everything I just spoke about. Everything I just spoke about is multiversal goodness, fan service, holy crap, craziness. The Spider-Man, can't believe it just worked so well together. Guys, completely separate and adjacent to that point, which you didn't even necessarily need the Spider-Man for this fact. The ending of this movie is literally a perfect ending for this character, and it just kind of blows my mind. So I want to speak to that for a little bit here. And also Ryan Carter, holy crap, man, so generous, crazy generous, my friend. I appreciate you. $100 super chat says, greatest movie experience of my life. Watching the joy and excitement on my son's face will stick with me forever. Near perfect movie, wouldn't change a beat. Crowd was cheering and crying. Thought pacing was perfect, and how they handled the villains was so elegant. Thank you, my friend. I'm so glad that you had a great experience with your son. It's been awesome to sort of peripherally hear about this experience, like with you over the past couple of days. I really appreciate the support. So thank you so much, man. And I'll go back over that when we get into the Q&A. Guys, every issue that folks had with the Tom Holland Spider-Man is now resolved. Every issue. We've always thought, well, Spider-Man definitely doesn't start out like Tony Stark's apprentice in the comics. Spider-Man doesn't go hang out, doesn't become an Avenger, and get an Iron Spider suit and all this stuff when he's this young. And there's all these sort of things with Spider-Man where you're like, bro, Tom Holland, he needs to get out there on his own. He needs to be the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. There have been people that have felt like this version of the Spider-Man character was too corpo, just conveniently connected to things that they want to advertise or put out there, right? So that's kind of one piece of the puzzle that is resolved. It's also totally in the spirit of the Peter Parker character to make the sacrifice and make the choice that he makes at the end of the movie to get, basically, he is completely on his own. Nobody knows that he's Peter Parker. Nobody. He moves into a shitty little New York City apartment, rents due at the first of the month, don't be late. He makes his own suit, which more closely resembles the Spider-Man suit that we would think of from the comic books. And it's a combination of the scene when he goes to see MJ. And side note, can we talk about Zendaya in this movie? She's so good in this film. She's good in all the other ones as well, but she doesn't, she's not that integral. Even in the last one, she's cool, but it's sort of this geeky, nerdy thing. It plays as a nice story for Peter, but it's not essential. Bro, she brought it in this one, and it is so important. Ned as well, right? Jacob killed it as well, and it's bittersweet, I think, because they're so good together. And now we kind of realize that chapter is over. You know, Peter will no longer be friends with Ned. Peter is no longer going to be with MJ. And wherever this character goes from here, he's going to have to forge his own path completely. And it's a combo of the scene when he goes in and talks to Zendaya and he gets the coffee and there's the awkward thing and then he sees the Band-Aid on her. And remember earlier in the film when he says, don't be stupid like me. He's like, don't let MIT be stupid like I was for getting them involved. And he kind of realizes that, you know, Strange was probably right when he said, you're trying to lead this double life. And the more you do that, the more it's going to mess things up. And so it's kind of like a wild moment where it's coming full circle. He sees the bandage on her head and, you know, she says it doesn't hurt anymore, but he's like, he makes the decision to put the note away and he can't endanger. Pardon me. He can't endanger her anymore. But then the other part, and this is the part that's like, bruh, holy crap, he's Spider-Man now. He's Spider-Man now. The scene at May's grave with Happy. And, you know, Jon Favreau brings it in this movie as well. And with those two at the grave, right? And Happy's talking about losing a friend, who he's talking about Tony. And of course, they both have that loss. They share that loss. Happy no longer recognizes Peter, but Peter knows, and he knows they share that loss. And so I think a little bit of that scene, he's feeling the weight of that as well. But it's what he says about May, where he's like, Happy says, you think of what they stood for, and you wonder, is that lost as well? And Peter says, no, of course not. The people that she helped, they will carry it on. And Happy's like, you think so? And Peter's like, I know so. And like, it's just this idea of like stepping into his role as being a man and a hero. And, you know, with great power comes great responsibility. It feels so right. You know what I mean? Like, it feels so right. And I'm just really grateful. You know what I mean? Like, I'm really, really grateful that you have such an incredible ending. You have such a good ending. It sets the character up in a way where, you know, now think about it. Vulture doesn't know who he is. Even the other Spider-Man, like, I don't know if the spell will work for them as well, right? I'm not sure. But, like, it just feels like this potentially fixes a lot of problems, right? And I think it's awesome. So there's kind of the ending. Now, I tell you what, let's talk about the two post-credit scenes. We'll talk about those briefly, and then we gotta get, I know, right? Gotta get some allergy meds. I don't know, man. I feel good though, but I think maybe it's just I need a dust in here or something. You know what I mean? I think we need a dust in here. I will. Is it gambling or did the thing break? Do I need to restart the cloud bot or is yeah? I think gambling's still working. I saw somebody say it's not working for them or whatever, but yeah. So here's what I think we should do. Let's go over the two post-credit scenes, and then let's get into Q&A because damn, y'all have a lot of thoughts. And also, smizash the like button, guys. Please help us out here and get the stream out there to more people. So let me talk about these post-credit scenes. I have a full video I'm working on right now about the Venom post-credit scene. It is weird, right? It is a little strange, and it feels like they're, you know, yanking them back and forth in the theater. Oh, and by the way, let me tell y'all, some of y'all are like, oh man, theater experience for the win. Had a great theater experience. I had a great experience, but there was also this dude snoring. Literally, loudly snoring. I was like, what the fuck? Like, this dude's literally just super loudly snoring a couple rows back from us. It's literally like 10, 15 minutes into the movie. And I'm like, what is going on here? We couldn't decide if it was like a young child or like a just anciently old person. But yeah, some dude's literally snoring in the middle of the movie. And I remember thinking to myself, well, it doesn't say much about this fucking movie. This guy's asleep snoring over here. You know what I mean? I think he eventually woke up. But there was a guy in front of us that got so mad about the Venom post-credit scene. He was like, what? So they're just yanking us around? Like, he was in, now he's out. He was just in for like 10 seconds. He did the post-credit scene, but now he's back in there. I don't understand it. I don't get it. And I agree, to a degree where it's like, dude, what? Like, it's almost like Feige was like, oh, yes, welcome to the MCU. Now get the fuck out. Get out of here. Immediately. Get out of here. You know what I mean? So it's kind of, it feels like a weird kind of tease on and off again with that relationship. But overall, I think that scene is actually going to be super impactful moving forward. And the one thing I will say is that I had a theory after the post-credit scene in Let There Be Carnage where I said, bro, Venom knows about Peter Parker and Spider-Man. He knows about them. And I think that the fact that Venom did know about Peter Parker and Spider-Man is a part of the reason why he gets sucked back in. But also, if you think about it, if they've been sitting there and checking stuff out, they're probably going to be aware of the report that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. So he knows basically just from that, probably. But I got theories about it. There's some reports out there. There's some crazy stuff going on. Oh, one other thing I wanted to touch on. Guys, the rumor is, and when you watch the movie again, keep an eye on this, okay? The rumor is Toby was supposed to die when the Goblin stabbed him. Okay? Toby was originally supposed to die in that scene. But they all worked so well together, and Feige decided that he wants Toby and Andrew back for Secret Wars. That's... Bruh. What that means is they went back and did reshoots with these two dudes. And you know how he sort of pops up, or he says like, yeah, I've been stabbed before, where he's like, oh, are you okay? And Toby's like, yeah, I've been stabbed before. And then the scene when Andrew's holding him up and Andrew's like, you are in so much pain right now. And Toby's like, yeah, I'm in so much pain. What that means, guys, is that they shot this whole thing and then they went back and did reshoots with all these guys. So some of the stuff when like we were talking about reports where we were like, ooh, Andrew is in New York, or ooh, Toby's over, some of that stuff had to be true because that part of the movie was fixed up in reshoots. And I'm super excited. Can't wait to see these two again, all three of them interacting again, likely in Secret Wars. It's gonna be fucking awesome. But we'll save that for another day. The trailer for Multiverse of Madness, I'm pretty excited to see it again. I'm curious what you guys thought, but to me, that trailer's pretty choppy. You know what I mean? Like, that's pretty choppy. And I don't know. I mean, I think that in a sense, they're using misdirection. But if I'm being honest, that trailer did not give me a ton of confidence that everything's all Gucci over there, because that trailer is like an acid trip of cuts. Like, how did you guys take that trailer? Because to me, I'm like it's too much. It's all over the place. I have no real concept. Like the narrative of the voiceovers, it like kind of tries to keep it together, but for me, I was like, holy shit, which is kind of interesting because it seems like maybe they're aware of that, which is part of the reason that it plays as a post-credit scene. And I don't think you're going to see that trailer released online. Now, some people think you will. Like, I think John Campea said that trailer will release online in the next couple of days. I wouldn't be surprised if the version that gets released is different than the one we saw in theaters, because it's all over the place. It's so choppy. There's a lot in there and a lot of cool stuff, and I'm excited to like dissect it for sure. If they release it online, I'll go frame by frame. But I think if you get a version of that trailer online, it's going to be different. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be different. They're also doing just a ton of reshoots on that movie right now. So Hey, it was still cool. You know, it was still cool. I'm pumped. But a little bit like, what the fuck? Like what's going on there? You know, like that's a lot. That's a lot going on. You know what I mean? So, you know, so there's kind of my full thoughts on everything, man. I saw somebody say, like, what was your favorite scene? Man, I think my favorite scene, like what just kind of gave me the feels, was when all of the Spider-Man, they're not working well together. And then they have a meeting and Tom is telling them about the Avengers and stuff. And Toby's like, that's great. What is that? Who is that? A band? Are you in a band? You know, that whole scene is hilarious. And then when they finally do work together and they're actually functioning together, webbing around, swinging around, I don't know about y'all, I was like, whoa. And I got the feels again. And I was like, bro, I can't wait to see more of this. Like, this is amazing. This is so cool. But also kind of tease you up for live action Spider-Verse, man. Like, oh, man. I feel like Rob a little bit, like, oh, man, let me tell you something, you know what I mean? Because it is like that, bro, where it's like, whoo, swinging around like that, working together. They all strike their different poses. They land on the head of the statue all together like that. I was like, oh, my God. Oh, my God. In fact, I might, hey, look, depends on how many drinks I have before we go see the movie tonight. I might stand up in the theater when that happens, and I might be like, let's fucking go, you know? Oh, hot damn. That moment gave me a Peter tingle, if you know what I'm saying. So that's probably my favorite moment. Okay. Let's shift into the Q&A because there are that's a great one too, Mike. That's a great one too. There are a lot of super chats that I have to get into. I'm very grateful for that, but we do gotta kind of get fucking going on this, okay? So, what's the deal with, I'm a little confused here on something that's going on with the music. Let me see something here. Chet, what's going on here? What was that, Chet? No. Mm-mm. It's Why? Okay. We'll make it work. 241 of these are okay. I think they're trying to, okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Is what it is. Is what it is. We'll just keep going on the Spider-Man tunes. Okay. Although I like this song. This is pretty nice. Yeah, I like this. This is pretty nice. Let this go. Cool. All right, let me pull up ye old super chats. We got a bunch of them to get into today. Super chats do support the channel. Keep the lights on over here. I legitimately would not be able to do all this content and do all this stuff without the support of you guys. So thank you guys very much for the support. Giving away triple the nerd coin as a little reward bonus for people that do super chat on this, just because I'm feeling it, baby. Good ass time to be a nerd. Good ass time to be a nerd. So let me get into these supers here. Okay, first in today was CosmoCon1 with a $5 holla. Said, if I had one word to describe No Way Home, it would be satisfying. It wasn't perfect, but every time I think about it, I want to see it again. Take my money. I couldn't agree more. There was stuff that, like I said, didn't work for me in the first third, and it's just a lot. One scene in particular that kind of rubbed me the wrong way while we're on the topic was with all the teachers. Just so weird and awkward, you know? And I love Hannibal Buress, but his whole thing in that scene where, like, Mysterio was right, weird. It doesn't work. You know what I mean? It just doesn't work for me. I guess I get why they did it, but there's, like, a lot of stuff like that where it just, you know, but it's all kind of just moving to a point, right? And you know what? Just because I'm super ADD and I want to talk about this now, let's talk about Matt Murdock for a second. Let me tell you this about Matt Murdock. Guys, it's just a little scene, But I want you to think about something. I want you to think about how Matt caught that brick. Number one, Peter didn't see it coming. It was so fast. Peter didn't see it coming. Peter was surprised. Okay? Number two, did you see the speed at which Matt caught the brick? I think it is obvious that this version of Daredevil, the MCU version of Daredevil, is going to be on another level. He is going to be way more powerful, way more adept than the one we saw in the Netflix series. And again, I was just watching Netflix Daredevil yesterday. I love that show. I was just watching it. I really enjoy it. But even the scenes in that, you know, you look at them, they're very grounded. The combat that he uses, it's cool, but it's like Khal McGraw, like kind of Muay Thai, like really, really, it's good, but it's like grounded, you know what I mean? And Daredevil should kind of be a little bit more like Spider-Man in the combat. He's like flipping around, he's being all crazy. So that's kind of that's just my only real thought about that was like, it's cool. You know, Daredevil stuff's cool on Netflix, and I know some of you guys are like, you stan Netflix Daredevil hard, and you're like, nah, man, it's Netflix Daredevil or bust. I get you, I understand that, but for me, I'm so excited to see what we get from Matt in the MCU, and I felt like that brick catch, that was not just a brick catch. That was a sign of things to come. Alex Petrov, very generous $20 holla, says, going to see the movie tomorrow. I can't wait. The spoilers only make me want way more excited. Take my money. That's awesome, brother. I appreciate the support. And I know for some people, they don't care at all about spoilers. They're just like, I want to know, like, is it good? Like, people care. Like, what's going on? Bro, it's fantastic, bro. Oh, my God. It's hard to put into words, you know what I mean? I've tried to do my best on the stream and the content so far, but it just really makes you feel warm, man. It's the right movie for the right time. People have been through a lot, you know, and to get these, you know, I grew up with the Tobey's, you know, Spider-Man, and that was life-changing to me, and I like Andrew. I liked Andrew's performances. Like, I was like sort of an Andrew defender. And so to see all that come together, it's pretty magical, man. So yeah, you're going to have a great time. Michael Smith with a $5 holla says, I need to hear a normie's opinion on the movie. Obviously, this movie owned my whole being, but what if I wasn't full-on nerd? Can they enjoy it too? I would say so. I mean, I would say, yeah, like they would enjoy it. What do you guys think about that? What does the chat think about that? What do y'all think? Do you guys think that a normie would enjoy it? I'm going to try to reset the chat on screen because it stopped moving even though y'all are just going crazy. What do you think? Maybe if I shut that off and turn it back on, it'll work. Bam. Okay, hopefully that'll fix it up. What do you guys think? You think a normies could enjoy the movie still? I'd say so. Samuel, welcome to the Nerdvengers. You are a Nerdvenger now, man. Really appreciate you. Appreciate the support today, guys. Thank you. Yeah, what are you guys saying in the chat? I bet they would enjoy it so much more. Yeah, a lot of people think they would enjoy it. I think it plays, man. I think it works. You know, I think that maybe if you're hardcore, there's a little bit of more of a special kind of thing put in there for you, a little bit more of like a love letter to you and your fandom for sure, but do not, I mean, I wouldn't discount normies liking it as well. Armani Martinez, $20 holla. Oh no, Armani said with a $20 holla says, Josh, that was one of the most disappointing, unsatisfying films I've ever seen. It felt rushed, unplanned, and the CGI was not done. They gave him another suit, and they are now giving us Spider-Man we wanted from 2017. Well, look, man, I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm sure you're not alone. I'm sure there's some people out there that are like, man, I didn't like it, you know, and there's different things that are going on. I'll tell you, I just have to be honest with you. There was stuff that I didn't like about it. There was stuff that I felt like super rushed, kind of weird. But ultimately, I don't know what to say. It took me over. I think the most important part of the movie, you know, we were talking about this on the Discord a little bit too. And Cold Dog, welcome to the Nerdvengers, brother. You are a Nerdvenger now. You know, there's definitely not perfect parts, and I could see that maybe some of that was because it was rushed, and they were just doing so much and changing so much. I could get down with you on that, but it feels like the opposite of Eternals, where like Eternals starts so strong and it's doing some really interesting fun stuff, and then it gets all goobly glob at the end, and the most important aspects of the movie don't feel like they play. Like it doesn't feel like it plays all that well in Eternals. But I have the opposite feeling with Spider-Man, where it's like, yeah, there's some stuff that doesn't work, but the thing that matters, bro, it works, and it works so well. So appreciate your opinion. No worries either way. Galen Merrick, $5 house says 420 Spider hype. Amen. I hope you didn't get too 420 though. I hope you still remember what happened in the movie. Mas, very generous, $10 holla says, listen, you sand brain, stop taking shots at Dune or the ganja jabber for you. Having said that, Spidey ruled, and give me nerd coin for gambles. Hey, I appreciate you, Mas. I actually almost like tagged you or made a comment about that post because I knew it would upset you a little bit. But it's also like within the narrative, right? Like it kind of plays. So, hey man, Dennis, all you got to do. Listen to me, Dennis. Listen, all you got to do is come out and tweet some positive shit about Spider-Man. Okay, a lot of us will go easy on you. Just get out there and admit you fucking Grinch that these movies are doing a lot for cinema and for people. Be more like Matthew Vaughn. Be more like P.T. Anderson. These guys are great. P.T. Anderson's probably better than you anyways, just so you know, Dennis. And he came out and he loves these movies. People are going to the movies to see Spider-Man, and we should celebrate that. That's what P.T. said. P.T.'s a real one. Okay, Darth Bayou, $50 holy mother-loving love of mothers. Appreciate the support. It says #1 Marvel movie for me personally. Maybe it's nostalgia, maybe not, but for me, it was fantastic. Haven't got an endorphin high from a movie like that in a long time. Bro, I'm with you on that. I would say, and I sort of said this in the review yesterday, the Russo brother directed movies are still tighter. Like, I think, when I watch Winter Soldier or watching Winter Soldier in the theaters and getting out of that, it was just like they have elevated the form. And I felt like that movie can stand shoulder to shoulder with other incredible movies of genre films, but not superhero movies. Like outside of the superhero genre, that movie stands shoulder to shoulder with these titans. I would say that Spider-Man No Way Home probably doesn't as a movie, but at the same time, it delivers that feel. I mean, why do we go see these movies anyway? You know what I mean? Like, why do we care? Why do we all flock to see these? I think it does speak to a sort of adolescent part of ourselves, the child within us. George Lucas famously said Star Wars is for kids. It's for 12-year-olds. But I think that's a true statement, but it's an incomplete statement because that gives the impression that as an adult, you maybe Star Wars isn't for you or whatever. No, see, it is for the child in all of us, right? And there's something about that childlike enthusiasm and that love that you had when you were a kid that, I mean, it's why I do what I do, man. The idea that I can, make a living, and even if I couldn't make a living, even make a little bit of money off of, nerdy things. The big reason is that it's what I love. It scratches that itch. It makes me feel childish and joyful and filled with all these things. And the movie made me so happy, dude. I don't know how else to say it. It made me so happy. I don't know the last time I said that. Like, this is just so fun. Like, I was having an out-of-body experience watching myself watch Spider-Man, and I was just ecstatic, bro. Like, just ecstatic. So I appreciate the love, and I'm with you on it. Brian, $10 holla says, let's go, man. Remember when you first brought it up over a year ago and I was a broke Venger? What an amazing ride. Hey, I love you, brother, and I appreciate the support. And yeah, we've sort of been on this for some time. It has been a fun ride following the different rumors, making a lot of content with you guys, getting excited about it. It's been a very enjoyable ride. A different ride than Infinity War and Endgame, Like, I would say Infinity War and Endgame had a little bit more of, like, I don't know, like it felt a little bit more poppy with just the craziness of the ending itself. Like the built-in anticipation from Infinity War into Endgame drove a lot of the desire to see that movie. And it's a different story with Spider-Man. It's like with Spider-Man, with No Way Home, it's definitely an experience, but it's also like questions of how it could even work, you know, and seeing what it would be like. It's a really mysterious kind of a thing. And, you know, I said this yesterday, but I'm shocked that they don't have Toby and Andrew in the marketing. I think they'll probably change that after a week or so. Like, you know how they like to do that, where they're like, they change the marketing strategy, but they're like, go see all the Spider-Man together. Because to me, it's not just that all three of them are in there. They are amazing. They are so good together. It's crazy you don't have some of this stuff in commercials, because it would bring people to the theater. So, but having said that, it doesn't seem like they're having any trouble with people going to the theater. Armani said, as someone who watched all the Spider-Man, it was almost disrespectful they CGI'd the Sam Raimi suit throughout the whole fight. Homecoming is best. Hey, look, I understand it. We're just going to have to agree to disagree, my guy. C-Dub says with a $10 holla, 10 out of 10. Gonna see it again tonight. My theater had 5 huge cheering moments. I love how they brought Toby and Andrew in. Yeah, man, I appreciate that support. It's very generous. And I agree with you, man. The pops in the theater was awesome. You know, the snoring was not, but the pops in the theater was really awesome. And I think tonight's crowd is going to be dope, bro. Like, tonight's crowd's going to be fire. We're going with another couple friends, and it's my Bratsia Borussia, one of my good Russian friends. And, man, I've been seeing movies with this guy since we were youngins. You know, we saw some Toby Spider-Man together in the theaters. And it just, you know, going to see the movie with him, sort of reflecting back to those times and those moments, like, bro, special things are happening. Special things are happening. And again, just my hats off to everybody at the studio, everybody that's involved that created this, brought this thing together. Matt Campbell, $10 holla, said, love the movie. Can't wait to watch this movie multiple times in the theater. Love the Nerd Vengers and this community. Matt, we love you right back. Appreciate you, my guy. I don't know. I might go sneak out and see it again. I mean, this will be two for two. How many days in a row am I going to see this movie? Remember when the homie, what was the dude's name? There was some dude that went and saw Endgame, or he saw Infinity War every day for like 50 or 60 days straight or something. And then he got invited to the premiere. Maybe I can be that guy. Lucas says with a $10 holla, this movie is by far my favorite Marvel film yet. I was smiling almost the entire time, minus the times I cried. My wife was blown away too. I am so excited for what's coming in the future. Lucas, appreciate the support. I cried. I'll be real with y'all. I'll be real. I cried. Twice. It's a sad movie, bro. Like, it is. It's a sad movie. It's good. It's fun. The ride is incredible. But it was sad, bro. Like, damn, was it sad. So, yeah, they got a couple tears out of me. Ryan Holland with a $5 holla says, Josh, do you see Morbius and Blade coming in the next few Tom Holland Spider-Man movies from Sony? That was rumored. Hey, maybe. You know, this Venom post-credit scene kind of gives us pause, right? When we're like, what the hell are they doing over there? You know? And I think we'll get more answers moving forward. Morbius itself as a movie may hold some of those answers as well. I think that, the one thing I'll say about this movie, that even when I read the leaks and stuff, which, by the way, there were some things I missed in the leaks, and I was actually happy that I missed them. And there's something else, let me just stop for a second. You don't get a full-ass idea of the fact that, like, oh, Spider-Man and all the villains are going to work together for a little bit, and all of them are going to pull up to Happy's apartment. I don't remember reading that in the leaks. And I think that even in the leaks, it's like, maybe it was obvious to some of you guys. It wasn't obvious to me that was going to be such a big part of the movie. It was, and as I'm experiencing it, I'm like, holy shit, like, this is working. This is wild, but it works, right? Like, you read a thing in the movie, and I think, or in the leak, and you fill in with your mind, like, what it means or how it'll play out. Watching it actually go down in the narrative was very enjoyable for me. The spell itself at the end of the movie, a lot of the leaks said he finished the spell, or Doctor Strange finishes the spell. It's a new spell. He creates a new spell. And I know maybe some of you guys read that specifically in the Chinese leak or whatever. I must have missed it. I was shocked by it. So there were some things that were different than what I read in the leaks. But, whew, so cool. So cool. So, yeah, Ryan, I'm not sure what to tell you, brother. Maybe, hopefully, we'll see. Nick says, hey, Josh, a new adventure here. Probably you meant Nerdventure. How does one gamble exactly? Well, you see a bunch of people doing it in the chat. I think you just have to hit / gamble, and then you write how many nerd coin you want to gamble. And I'll tell you, I'll do a thing here. Just because it's such a cool day. I'll try to put this in 2 different ones so that at least some of you guys get at least one of them, because I know it's not always super accurate. But I just dropped 5,000 nerd coin to everybody, and I'm going to drop another 5,000 nerd coin to everybody. So hopefully that goes through for you guys. Let me know in chat. Jareth Loveberry, I'm going to read over this again. $100 super chat. Holy crap, bro. So generous. That's a lot of money. That's probably too much. Do you know what I mean? But I appreciate it. Thank you so much. It will go to a good place, which is me watching Spider-Man like 40 more times. Okay. Spoils all over this super chat. Great theater experience. Very loud. Theaters screamed when Toby got stabbed. Yeah, that part was cool. Love all the experiences around this movie and crazy excited for Multiverse of Madness. Let's go. I know. Bro, and don't get me wrong, guys. You know, I said the trailer's a little whack for me. I'm not saying I'm not excited for the movie. I'm not saying they're not going to be able to pull it together. And even if it's something like Spider-Man, right? Because I had this thought. Spider-Man is not a perfect movie, but it does what it needs to do so well. And with Multiverse of Madness, I think that's the thing too, where it's like, it doesn't need to be perfect. Maybe it is a little uneven. Maybe it's like kind of campy in parts. Maybe it's too serious in parts. Maybe there's not even a clear arc for Steven. But if it does what it needs to do right, which is, I think, just satisfy, like they need to level up, double down, 2x what they did in this movie, where you need to feel like these are the actual characters from those other universes and stuff. And see a different look of things and understand the multiverse a little bit more and just get giddy as a fan. I think that's really, really important. So if they can do that right for Multiverse of Madness, which I have all the faith in the world that they will, then we're in a really, really good place. Jareth, again, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Sazo, $10 holla, says, search Digital Eyes Marketplace and search GGSG Honorary Collection and check this out. What? Oh, you're shilling NFT. Hey, look, man, I'm all about NFTs, but just not today. Godard Neutron with a $5 holla says, I'd rank No Way Home 4th under Endgame number 1, Infinity War, Winter Soldier, and then right under. Hey, that's great company to have them in, though. I mean, that's great company to have them in. I'm just a Russo brothers fanboy. Me too, Godard. Me too. But I mean, come on, man. The Russo brothers are coming back for Secret Wars. We're going to get to see the Russo brothers tackle Toby and Andrew and even more characters. Bro, all of this stuff is just putting all of the toys there for the Russo brothers to be able to play with later. It's unbelievable. This is why the Russo brothers have continued to have monthly meetings with Marvel Studios ever since they left, because they have to know what's going on as they are working on Secret Wars, and I promise you they are already working on it. Woo! Can you believe it? Can you believe it? It's amazing. Michael Phantom with a $5 holla says, I think the only holdback for me was the first 30 minutes. They just gloss over him dealing with his identity being out there to get to the multiverse stuff. Yeah, I agree. It's not the best balance. It's not. You know, it's fun. It's very cool, but it's not the best balance. It is, it doesn't, it's not flawless. And I wonder how much they tried to change it to make it better. I'm sure if they had even more time, they could have really evened it out. But it does what it needs to do well, you know what I mean? Play Alone Record says, No Way Home was such fun and felt so good to enjoy it with so many other nerds nerding in the world. Happy holidays, everyone. Much love to you, brother. Thank you. Jeremy Lamar, fire alarms went off in my theater right when the bridge scene started and the movie got delayed for 20 minutes. Spidey and Goblin Fight scene, though. First of all, Jeremy, that's terrible. I was watching on Twitter, Paul had mentioned that they had to restart the movie like 5 times in his theater because something kept going wrong. And I jokingly was like, oh, so the theater chain got my check then. But nah, for real, that sucks, bro. That would put a stinker in my bonnet, as it were. Yeah, I said bonnet, Chet. Shut your mouth. We're having a good stream. The Goblin Fight scene was amazing. Willem Dafoe, man. Wow, did he bring it. Dude's incredible. The dude is freaking incredible, dude. And the fighting was so physical. I absolutely loved the scene when he first turns and right before May gets killed and all that, where he's slamming him through walls, up and down the floors and ceiling. It was awesome. I absolutely love that scene. I actually wish we got a little bit more Goblin. He kind of flies in at the end of the Liberty scene, and then, you know, it doesn't do a lot. Like, that scene at the end with him is really cool, and it's poignant for the story, but it's not as fantastic as it could have been. But, yeah, Dafoe's Goblin was brilliant. He's also so vulnerable when he's not Goblin. That's really important, too, and so hats off to Willem Dafoe, 100%. Jaron says, $10 holla, by the way. Shout out John Watts, Tom, Toby, and Andrew. This movie was super fun, for sure, man. Shout out to all of them. What an incredible experience. I'm in shock. Like, and even this stream is like shocking, and like just to enjoy this with you guys. Like, this is just, it's good life, man. You know what I mean? It's good life. Alan says, $10 holla. Best MCU movie ever. I was teary-eyed multiple times during the movie, and all Spider-Man together made the movie. Andrew made the audience clap. Toby made them scream. Green Goblin was so good. I agree, bro. I agree with you. The pop for Toby was brilliant, and I can't wait to experience that pop again in the theater tonight with people. Yeah. The theater experience, you know, even though I'm streaming, I'm hashtag team streaming, it was special to have that experience with people, and I look forward to having it again tonight. Definitely had me teary-eyed. I think I cried more in Endgame the first time I saw it. Endgame is a fucking sad movie. You know what I mean? This movie's really sad as well, but it leaves Peter in a really good spot. So, Scott F says, wow, just wow. Theater was electric. They wrote the boys well. The whole Avengers scene with the Spider-Man was amazing. Is that a band? Yeah, I agree. It's one of my favorites, bro. Yeah, so much to get into, but yeah, that was definitely a good one. Appreciate the support, my friend. Nick says, I kept saying to myself, I feel like I'm watching a comic book. It grabbed me from start to finish. Hey, man, I'm glad it did. I'm glad you got grabbed in the theater. Pause. That's super cool, man. And yeah, I had a similar thing, right, where I was just like, dude, this is so fun. Like, this is so fun. And you never know. You don't know. You don't know what it's going to be like until you do it, you know? James says, No Way Home felt like the first Spider-Man film in the MCU. The film has made me more confused about Morbius, especially after Kevin Feige grinned at the mention of Morbius vs. Blade in an interview by Geeks of Color. Yes, it is confusing, right? But you know what? There was one thing, too, that's sort of under... I don't know how many people are picking up on this. It is actually echoed in the trailer, but it's when Steven says messing with the fabric of reality and time is really, really bad. He was referring to Endgame. And as I said before, I don't think they got out of Endgame clean. I just can't see a scenario in which they got out clean. And Doctor Strange is sort of implying that when he's talking to Peter. He's like, yeah, we already did all this stuff and it was bad. We can't do any more. So I think, you know, a big part of this will come back to Endgame, and it will be because of Endgame that we will move forward and get more multiversal stuff. So Morbius vs. Blade, bro, I'm into it. I don't know. We'll follow it closely, James. We'll report to you as soon as we know any rumors, any inklings of what is going on. So appreciate you, man. Dorney says, for the $5 holla. Number 1, Winter Soldier. Number 2, Endgame. Number 3, Infinity War. Number 4, No Way Home. Having said that, this may change after more views. Solid 9 out of 10. Hype for what's to come. I agree with you. I'm interested to know what my feelings are after seeing it for the second time. It cannot drag. I cannot really see myself liking it less. I guess I'm curious, how much more am I going to like it? Am I going to say this is my favorite comic book movie of all time? Which, by the way, my favorite comic book movie of all time? Logan. I know. Weird. Maybe some of you guys are like, fucking Logan? What the fuck? Nah, man. Logan to me, yeah. Logan's the one. But No Way Home kind of has a very similar thing that Logan has going on. Where one of the reasons I love Logan so much is because it utilizes all of the X-Men movie history in a really interesting and creative way. It makes you feel like your time was well spent. It makes you feel like your investment as a fan into all of those things pays off. It is tragic, but also beautiful. You know what I mean? So we'll see. We'll see what I'm feeling after the second viewing. Corey says, hey, Josh, how do you think Happy knew Aunt May if he didn't know Peter was Spider-Man? Through Spider-Man. He just didn't know that Spider-Man was Peter. He probably knew that May knew Spider-Man or something to that effect. Maybe he even knew that she was Spider-Man's mom, but he didn't know who Spider-Man was, right? Not 100%, but that's just kind of my off-the-cuff answer. Pretty Nicky, $5 holler says, the moment Andrew's Peter catches MJ and starts to cry, I lost it. Such an amazing moment. I agree with you. It was beautiful. And that's why, like, the caliber of actor is so important. And Andrew just brought it, man. Like, damn. Like, we're just spoiled. Guys, we're so fucking spoiled as fans. It's crazy. It's crazy. Darth Dever says, man, I still can't even comprehend what I just witnessed last night. To be honest, Toby was great, but Andrew stole the show for me. He seems so happy to be there. I agree with that. And you know what? Think about this, too. Think about this. For Andrew specifically. That's such a great point, Dever, because for him specifically, he gets a chance to come back and do justice to a character that he loved a lot, but let's be honest, the wider audience did not love his portrayal. You know? A lot of people had problems with his Spider-Man, didn't like those movies, you know. So for him, sweet vindication to be able to come back and to be able to do such a good job. And I think fans will really, really appreciate, you know, what he did in this movie. It was beautiful. And to me, though, like it's just so hard. I go back and forth on this because I agree with you. And he brought it, bro. But Toby was what Toby needed to be. He was so perfect for what he needed to be. Magic of movies. Prince Zodiac said with a $2 holla, so many times my 11-year-old son asked if I was okay. Oh, dude, that's nice, man. That's adorable. Mr. JB, $20 holla says, here's 20 for being one of my favorites on YouTube. Keep up the great work. Hey, I appreciate you, brother. Much love to you. Thank you. And then Ryan Carter, again, 2 days in a row, bro. I hope you sold a yacht or something. I hope you got plenty of cash. I don't want to hear that you got to eat ramen or whatever. But another very generous $100 donation says, greatest movie experience of my life. Watching the joy and excitement on my son's face will stick with me forever. Near perfect movie, wouldn't change a beat. Crowd was cheering and crying. Thought pacing was perfect, and how they handled the villains was so elegant. Ryan, so much love coming from me to you, man. I'm so happy you had that experience. For me to be involved in that experience in even the slightest way is an honor. Thank you. Truly. Skylar Hillman says, so gut-wrenching, but incredibly pleasing. You talking about my hair? Or are you talking about the movie? CG Vid says, Ned sitting in the chair at film's end. Nice touch. Hey, I didn't even catch that. That's cool, man. That is cool. Machine Gun Carter says, dude, the ending. We're going to get a more based Spider-Man story in the future. I hope. Old school suit, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Let's effing go. Couldn't agree more, bro. It's such a good ending. The ending is so good that it's actually, it actually like stands shoulder to shoulder with the joy of the Spider-Man. You You know what I mean? Like, it's that good. It is mind-blowing to me how good the ending was. Michael Phantom says the spell made it so the world forgot Peter Parker existed, not that Spider-Man existed. Everyone remembers Spider-Man. Everybody does remember Spider-Man, just nobody knows that he's Peter Parker. I loved it. Thought it was brilliant. But yes, you are right. Rodney says, Toby finishing the responsibility line. Chills. Bro, you ain't lying. I got chills when him and Otto talked. That gave me chills when him and Otto had those lines back and forth. And when he says that to Sandman, like, we're going to get you home. Bro, I don't know how to explain it. Toby's Spider Dad. He's Spider Dad. And he nailed it. Brack, I want to hear your thoughts on Spider-Man being able to keep the box from Strange, even astral form, to the surprise of Strange. Spider-Man is life. That felt really comic booky to me, actually. And in this movie, you get a good sense of just how brilliant Peter is. And the line when Osborn said, if you're ever in need of a job and you want to commute to another universe, like, that was a very cool, enduring moment, you know? And so you get a lot of goodness. You get a lot of Spider-Man goodness in this movie. And, that's part of it. Him being so intelligent that even within the mirror dimension, he's able to do something. And the line where he says, you know what's cooler than magic? Math. It's a Peter Parker line, you know? Forehead Face, $5 holla says, great movie. Defoe was unreal. But what impressed me the most was how they not only brought in all these characters, but elevated them beautifully as well. That's such a good point because, on the one hand, it's just like, okay, get them in there, make it dope, make people happy. But it's also like you elevate them. The whole thing with Andrew talking about how he stopped holding his punches. He went a little dark, implying that, maybe he killed Lizard. You know what I mean? Like, wild, right? So... yes, that part was really, really cool. It elevates the characters, and yeah, I couldn't agree more, man. It's impressive. It's very impressive the way that they did it. Let's see here. Let's do that again, Chet. Yeah. Jeremy Chavez. Defoe reminded us on why Green Goblin is Spider-Man's craziest villain. While we knew he wasn't going to change, but still had us at the edge of our seat. 100% brilliant character to sort of center it all around. Really liked it. Even loved what they did with Electro. I really like what they did with Electro, actually. And some of the banter back and forth between the villains was really funny. I mentioned this yesterday, but it's like, if everybody was taking this whole thing so seriously, I don't know if it would have worked. The fact that there's like some comedic relief, there's some levity there, I think is really important. And yeah, it's really good. Sith Master Josh says, do you think Venom will try to search out Eddie Brock first to bond with, or just bond with whoever he can get? That's an interesting question. I think you're referring to the little piece of the symbiote that is left behind by Venom in the post-credit scene. I have no idea. My gut tells me we're going to Spider-Man, though. My gut tells me the direction that is going to head in is going to be for Peter. And possibly even connected to the fact that, that's something they were talking about right until he left, right? Who knows for sure, but that's kind of what my gut says. Thren says, the $5 hello. I wish in that moment when Tom said, just trust your tingle, Toby would have looked at him and said, you mean our spider sense? Would have been cool. Yeah, that's true. That's true, but I think they know what they're saying there. Hey, Zong Zena, I apologize. I will, I'll grab your chat. Actually, let's just do it right now. Because I saw your chat come in first. Why isn't it popping up here, though? Because I definitely saw it. Oh, your member chat. That's why it's not popping up. I have been living in a small town in Canada for the last year, and I've been to every Marvel movie opening night. Was that full and that loud fun AF. It was never that full or that loud. Well, that is dope, bro. That is dope, and I'm happy for you. I'm super happy for you. By the way, smash like. Some of you guys just wandered in here like, what the hell is this? Doesn't matter what it is. Smash like. Shut your mouth when you're talking to me. Okay. Let's keep going on this. Let's keep going on these chats. These super duper chats. Skylar says, my favorite scene is when Toby prevents Tom from killing Goblin. That's a great choice. That scene definitely gave me the feels, bro. Magic. And Toby's so perfect for that. C-Dub says with a $10 holla, I really love the opening fight with Doc. We finally get to see that Iron Spider suit can really do. That's true. It was impressive. I agree with you on that one. The CGI was great. Very, very fun. Jay Bree says, I was literally crying and screaming at the movie. Jabri, I'm so happy for you. That sounds incredible. I'm glad you had such a good time. Dan the Man says, hey Josh, Spider-Man 4, The Amazing Spider-Man 3, 2,000 heroes come back. Hype! Hey, you never know. I think this is going to be so well received that you never know, fam. I'd love to see more of it. I would. Han Shop First says with a $5 holla, I saw it last night. I'm going again at 2 today. Loved this movie and can't wait to see it again. Nerdvengers! Yeah, man. Let them know. Lucas says, if we don't see Toby and Andrew in the MCU again, I will riot. I want a whole movie of those two just talking. I need to go see it again ASAP. Glad I'm able to catch the stream 2 days in a row. I'm glad as well, Lucas. Thank you for the support. And yeah, man. I mean, Secret Wars, bro. Secret Wars better be a damn trilogy. You listening to me, Russo brothers? It better be a damn trilogy. Or at least a 16-hour movie. Jabri follows up and says, so the scene from Studios 10 interview was real. Yeah, and hilarious that happened. I mean, there have been other slip-ups and stuff like that, but that is wild. That is wild AF. Dan Kirkwood says with a $10 holla, what's your understanding of how the spell was botched? Was it let everyone who knew Peter Parker still know who he is that caused them to start coming into our universe? Love your show. No, so here's my thing. Strange says, or actually I believe it's Wong, who is the Sorcerer Supreme now, by the way. And I knew that a while ago, actually. I made a really cryptic tweet about this like several months ago where I said, I'm here for Wong's supremacy. This has multiple meanings. Because I knew he was going to be the Sorcerer Supreme. Here's my understanding of what happens. The spell itself messes with space-time. Space-time already fragile because of a lot of things. The spell got altered, and it ended up becoming everyone who knows Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Like, forget. I think that was still what the spell was, but it became so unstable that it turned into ripping open the multiverse, allowing everyone that knew Peter Parker was Spider-Man. And by the way, did you catch some of the fun people that were seen? You see a different Rhino. Sony is apparently working on doing a Rhino film, a solo Rhino film. I know, it doesn't make any fucking sense, but you see a different Rhino in one of the silhouettes. That's one of the big things I'm excited to check out. Is who else can we see in there? I think you see Kraven as well. But that's my understanding of it, is like the spell just got so botched that it became something that he did not cast. It took on its own life. Parvial Skywalker says, is this Sony writing Tom out of the MCU? No, I don't think so. I think it actually sets up beautiful Tom in the MCU future stuff. That's just my opinion, though. Galen Merrick, Tex Venger says, I mean, I didn't connect 3 blunts, but 420. I know, right? Somebody yesterday was like, I got 3 blunts connected for before this movie. And I was like, holy shit, man. Look, I'm all for smoke them if you got them, but that feels a little excessive. Are you going to be okay? Are you going to make it to the theater? Are you going to get into the right theater? You know what I mean? Like, oh, why somebody help this guy, huh? Alex says, $13.99. Very interesting number, but thank you. The ending is just 50 first dates. Ah, shit. Sergeant Woods, $5 holla says the top 5 MC movies for me. Also, when Electro says the power here is stronger, makes me think that the MCU is stronger than Tobey's and Andrew's universe. Yeah, so what that made me think of was like this idea that the physics of different universes could be slightly different or completely different, which is something they think of in quantum mechanic theories. I loved it. Like the idea that this universe is just slightly different. Therefore, the power that he can feel and access is different and really cool. So, loved it. Diamond Joe with a $5 hug says, completely blown away. Spider-Man 4 win. I'd love it, dude. Tobey was great. Old man Spider-Man. Dude, Tobey was great. I'd love to see more of it, man. I appreciate you, Joe. Matthew Greathouse with a $5 hug says, Andrew and Tobey were cool to see, but I was way more hyped for Charlie. Also, that final suit was fire. I know. I need a better look at that final suit. And I agree with you. Charlie was great. He was so good, so smart. And the way he caught that brick, oh man, I can't wait to see him flipping around, doing wild shit. And remember, he caught the brick. Tom wouldn't have even caught that brick. Tom's spider sense is not as well developed as the senses that Daredevil has. Think about that shit. Dan the Man says, they messed up because now I want more Spidey bros. I know. We all want it, man. We all want it. You First says, watching Green Goblin throwing Tom through the floor and being extra brutal, my friends and I were thinking, where was all this energy during Spider-Man 1? I know, a little bit, but still, amazing. Like, bro, they were like UFC fighting, dude. It was brilliant. I love the physicality. Han Shop First says, so Venom post-credit scenes mean we get a Venom in the MCU and a Sony Venom. Yeah, so I'll linger on this for just a second. A lot of this is rumor, guys, but here's the deal. The rumor is you will see Tom with the Venom symbiote. It will get the spider symbol on it in the MCU. Tom is rumored to be in Venom 3, which is like a whole nother discussion. Wrap your head around that. And then I think they will all come together for Spider-Verse and also Secret Wars. Like, dude, let me make a bold statement right now. Tom Hardy has already been appraised of Secret Wars. Most people that are at a high-level position at either Marvel or Sony, I would venture to say, has had the Secret Wars talk. I'm going to tell you that right now. Tyler Millard with a $10 holler says, so Oscorp doesn't exist in the MCU yet. But do you think Norman could be a private military weapons manufacturer that makes billions off new invention of leading him to Oscorp in the future? Yeah, I do think that's possible, and I do think there is a plan to have an MCU Norman Osborn, actually. I do. Yeah, man, I don't know for sure. Some rumorage out there, you know, things, you know, sometimes it's a game of telephone, but I think you're getting some Osborn in the MCU, I would say. Theo says, what's your favorite suit? Big fan. Love you, man. I love the Inside Out suit. I love the black and gold suit. It's my fave. I have my hoodie. I got the reversible hoodie that has the Iron Spider on it, and then it's got the black and gold. And man, this black and gold, man. Like, dude, like, look at that. Like, look at that, man. Why was Venom there? Nate asks. Because I think, this is my theory, Nate. And I just randomly saw your thing pop up in chat. This is my theory. I think Venom, the symbiote, not Eddie, but Venom does know Spider-Man, and he does know Peter Parker, and he knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Because in the Venom post-credit scene, Venom says, like, countless knowledge from millions of years and different universes would melt your little brain. And so there's a bunch of stuff that Venom knows that he is not sharing with Eddie, and I believe that is how he came into the universe. Justin, what's up, brother? Says, Feige, he done bonered us again. Also, did they change Spider Blood to Block? Huh? Wait, what? Did they change Spider Blood to Block? Wait. He done bonered us again? He did not boner us. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? And we also said on the on Discord, we were talking about this a little bit this morning. I think Feige has... I've officially forgiven Feige for the boner. Let me just say that. I don't like it. I don't agree with it. But I do accept it. And now that I've been treated so good with the Spider-Mans, I can let the boner go. That's right, guys. I'm letting the boner go. Still a stupid idea. Low Live says with the $5 house says new suit was wild. Blue reminds me of the Superman NFT on Vivi, but No Way Home gave me all the Spidey fan service I didn't know I wanted. Blue reminds me of the Superman NFT on Vivi. Are you talking about the Spider-Man? Did you mean Spider-Man NFT on Vivi? Also, I totally missed the Vivi drop today. Fuck it though, right? I will say that that Spider-Man VV, man, hold on to that. If you've got a Spider-Man VV, they just moved to Immutable X as well. Like, this shit's about to get crazy. Dude, these VV NFTs, like, I'm just saying, it might have been a good thing to get in on for sure. The Zabrak says with the $5 house says, met a guy at the movies yesterday who said his friend worked on Hawkeye. And apparently they have a secret project coming up with Michael Keaton. That's really interesting. You know, I heard some interesting stuff about Hawkeye. Apparently, a big scene that was supposed to happen in episode 5 got cut. So I want you guys to think about this. Look, do we know for sure? No, we don't know for sure. But the reports out there by some reliable people are that they cut a post-credit scene from episode 4 that would have shown Kingpin. They cut an entire scene that was supposed to happen in episode 5 with Kingpin. And I think ultimately that was done to create so much hype for episode 6. And I think what I heard was there was a lot of Kingpin stuff. And then the reshoots they did for Hawkeye, there was even more Kingpin stuff. So what am I hoping for next week? I'm hoping for a 2-hour episode all Kingpin. We'll see what happens. Steve says with the $10 says, this movie is so friggin' fun. The final hour is nothing short of a Spider-Man masterpiece. Action, emotion, nostalgia. No Way Home gave me everything I wanted and a few things I didn't know I needed. 10 out of 10. Hey, man. Quote of the day. Well said, brother. And I appreciate the support. Thank you so much. Haunted Autumn says, someone pointed out they could have just erased the memory of Mysterio and been fine. And it is rather hard to believe none of them thought of that. I think that's a fair criticism. That's a fair criticism. I don't think that I don't think the end is so flawless that you can't like poke holes in it or whatever. It is actually Tom's idea. Strange just says, yes, that would work. I would say, they're in a very stressful situation, so they can't think perfectly. And it also is the perfect ending for that character. So I'm going to give it a pass. Kendo! What's up, brother? $20 house says, bro, so many thoughts. Still emotional from the film. Top 4 for sure. Gotta see it again to know where exactly it lands. Sets up so much for the MCU. Really drives home who Peter is. I couldn't agree more, man. If you're a fan of that character, like if you're a big Spider-Man fan, which I am a big Spider-Man fan, like you're just, I said it yesterday, but like Into the Spider-Verse for me was my favorite Spider-Man movie before this one because it encapsulated so many important qualities for the character, sets up Miles in a brilliant way. It does so much good stuff with Spider-Man. It feels like as a Spider-Man fan, you're just being treated. This movie feels like if you're a Spider-Man fan, going to like a pleasure house, like a spa day of Spider-Mans, like where you're everything you ever wanted of Spider-Man is in your face. It so perfectly brings these two characters that I grew up with and that I, grew in love with comic book movies together and does these versions of the character brilliantly. Yeah, man. We're like, this is a special moment. Like, just remember this moment. Like, just because look, life's not always like this, ups and downs, etc., etc. If you're in it like I am, and a lot of people, I think, that watch this channel and that watch content like this online, you love this shit too. Like, you love this shit. And it is a rare thing in this life to love something, to find passion out of something, okay? Don't let anybody tell you it's silly. Don't let anybody tell you it doesn't matter. It fucking matters. It matters a lot. Remember this moment. Live within this moment. Feel that love. Let it surround you. Like, just do it, man. Like, this is what it's about. This is why we do what we do, right? So, much love, brother. Chewie says, the ending of No Way Home was perfect way to get Spider-Man out of the MCU if they don't have him with the Avengers moving forward. That's fair. That's a fair point. I still don't think that's what they are going to do, but it is a fair point. It technically solves that issue, yes. Geekdom! Danny! What's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Says, I put it at number 3. Behind Civil War and Endgame. A true masterpiece of emotion that made me wish it was another hour longer. 9 out of 10 in my opinion. I think that's a really good take. It really does, like, the emotionality. Is that a word? Fuck, it is today. The emotionality of that movie. Incredible. Chet, can we get an emotionality shirt? Toby. Just pop a Toby right on there. Emotionality. You don't think it'll sell? Okay. Yeah, man. It's a good time. It's a good time. I'm glad you liked it, Danny, for sure. Jordan Love says, Andrew's dialogue was hilarious. Tom Holland's acting was marvelous. I felt the emotion, and I was blown away, even with being aware of the leaks. Me too, bro. Me too. Absolutely blown away. Leaks didn't take anything away from me. So, that's always nice, too. Zero Gravitas, thank you for getting me so ultra hyped for this movie over the last year. Took the experience to the next level. I love to hear that. I really do. Any small part we can play in this formula, I'm very happy to do it. Hawks Holocrons says the girl sitting next to me goes, wow, they just effing killed Toby. I laughed out loud and she gave me the worst glare. Oh, shit. Almost. Scotty almost got canceled. In the theater. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Oh my God. Okay. Renee says, would you recommend rewatching the other Spider-Man series? I would. I think for me, that has been a part of the experience. Rewatching the Tobey stuff, it was a part of the experience. Rewatching Amazing Spider-Man, it was a part of the experience. It was perfect. It was perfect. So yeah, I would, brother. I would. Kendall, $10 says, spoilers ain't shit. I was still hit when May died. Oh, for me too. Did y'all second guess it too? Because the way that scene plays out, I actually thought maybe she will be fine. Maybe this isn't when she dies. And then, that's a really good scene. Thought she was going to make it until she said the great power line. Yeah, see, man, great minds. Feel like the trilogy is Tom's origin story. 100% it is. And it's a different one. It's interesting. It's unique. It's separate than the others. But it's good, bro. And we now have I can't fucking believe it. I can't believe they did it. We now have him as the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. And he still, as a character, carries with him everything that happened. Therefore, we as an audience still carry it with us. But the world can now be different for him. It's dope. It's mind-blowing. Enrique Rubble says with a $5 tears were shed. Man, movie is a masterpiece. Toby, Andrew, Cox, Feige, I love you. Where do we go from here since Avengers won't know Peter Parker? And Ned, a wizard? Yeah, the Ned, a wizard thing, I wish I hope that becomes something, right? Because that was cool. I like that. Where do we go with here with Peter? Every time he meets an Avenger now, they're not going to know. I wonder if they still have experiences with him. Like, I wonder if Doctor Strange will recognize Spider-Man and realize that, yes, he was with Spider-Man during Infinity War and all that, but no one will know that it's Peter. I'm not sure. I think sort of the jury's still out on that. But I think the main thing, like, this is my main thought, Enrique, was now he's going to actually have to forge his own path. No more getting by, because of his connection to Stark. No more of that. He really and truly is going to have to forge his own path, which is great. Shocker says, Black Spider-Man, Miles soon? Yes, JH. I think that is an exact call to that. And we actually reported on that a couple of weeks back because that sort of leaked out that was happening. And yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. James Jones, $10 says, the world still knows Spider-Man. So does that mean the Avengers / Fury remember that he helped them beat Thanos? This is actually just what we were talking about, James. I think that may well be the case. Like, it may well be the case that they know that he helped and all these different things, but they might not know who he is at all. And maybe even if they saw his face, like, they don't know who the kid is, right? You know, Captain Marvel's not going to know him. Nobody's going to know him, which is brilliant. It solves a lot of problems, man. Enrique follows up and says, the saddest / feel-good part for me was Andrew redeeming himself with MJ poetic right in the feels when he brings up Gwen and Toby. It's just chef's kiss. Yeah, couldn't agree more, man. Just felt like I was being hugged from some spiritual place where all good stories come from, you know? Jamie says, but why couldn't Toby fight as a youth pastor? Yeah, for sure. But for reals, thank you for getting us through this journey. Amen, brother. I'm happy to have you here. Kyle says, might I just add, we got all the Spider-Man and Daredevil and Kingpin all in 3 days. We are living in the best time for nerds. # take my money. I agree, bro. It's kind of mind-blowing, right? Like, it is. Like, it's mind-blowing to just sit back and think about this, you know, and where we're going and Secret Wars and all these different things. It's and we got Book of Boba Fett in a couple of weeks, man. Come on, man. Feel the vibe. Catch a vibe with me, you know? It's good shit. Justin says, didn't realize Disney wrote out shield checks retroactively for Logan. Dude, but that's not even their movie. I mean, they technically have it now or whatever. But, dude, I'll shill for Logan all day. I'd shill pretty cheap. I'd take half my usual shill check fee. Justified says, I lurk most of the time, but it has been an awesome time building up to actually seeing it. You're right. Hearing the leaks don't compare at all. Hey, man, I appreciate the support. Thank you for chiming in. I'm glad you enjoy the content. And hey, not everybody agrees with me. I try to respect people's wishes when it comes to spoilers and stuff like that. But I sort of continue to wave that flag of I don't think this retracts from the experience personally. And yeah, and I think many people feel the same. So thank you, man. Concept Human Being says, more Daredevil, please. Oh, I think you're getting it right around the corner. Harris McGrady, since Zendaya's MJ is Michelle Jones, do you think she'll take the back burner for the MCU, Gwen and or Mary Jane to come in while she's in college? I do think so, yeah. I do think so. And they have like a GED thing, so it kind of seems like Tom didn't even graduate high school. Then he's got to go get a GED, so... Yeah, I think they are on different paths now. You know, I think that you could see Gwen. You could see Mary Jane. But her name is Watson too, right? So I don't know. Hard to say. John says, did Toby know who Ned and MJ were when portaled in? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Darth Revan says, man, I just got here. Dude, last night was epic. Gonna go again tonight. Did you notice the move from the game in Goblin Fight? No, I didn't notice that. I'll have to look that up. I'm not sure. Michael Smith says, we did it. The boner has actually been snapped. Yeah, man. No more boners. Zach MTV says the last scene with the new red and blue suit was so clean. Same area and time as Hawkeye, plus finale takes place at the ice ring. Spidey and Hawkeye. Bro, let's go. That would be so cool. So hyped. Nerd Multiverse says the Spidey theory. Venom said its species is multiversal. Once Pete gets the symbiote, Venom will know right away due to the hive. Come back to fight the webhead. Yeah, it's possible. He could go over there and fight Venom as well. I think Across the Spider-Verse will have something to do with this. And we'll have a lot of fun speculating about it, following the rumors and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, man, I agree. Something like that could definitely happen. Low Live says the last scene in the new suit needs to be in episode 6. Oh, that would be clean, bro. A lot of people are on that train. That would be super clean. Enrique says, when Electro said Black Spidey, the crowd lost it. For sure, man. Miles is a great character, and that's coming for sure. Winter Soldier says, when they went into Ned's house, they panned past a sewing machine with green and orange and purple material. What? A bit of foreshadowing for Hobgoblin. Bro, let's go. Bro, let's go. Armani says, Josh, I wish I could like the movie, but maybe watching The Matrix in 4D before really hindered me. I don't know. I feel like an outlier in the Nerd Vengers. I mean, a little bit you're an outlier, but that's okay. Like you're allowed to be an outlier, my guy. Like it's not a big deal. Don't feel bad about it, you know? And you should be able to maybe just be happy for other people having the amount of enjoyment that they had with it. It's not that deep. It ain't that deep, you know? Don't do what I did and try to make everybody like WandaVision less because you didn't like the ending. That's what I did. Don't be like me. You know, be better. Haunted Autumn says, I meant the first spell attempt. The second time it had to be Peter, but right off the bat, they could have just erased the memory of Mysterio. But that would have, I don't know if I agree. I guess I see where you're coming from, but I don't think that would work, bro. I don't know. Maybe you're right. Kaluhai says, I really loved and laughed a lot at their web shooter conversation. Pure nerdiness. Yeah, that was very cool as well. That was very fun. Lucas says, Ned saying he won't become a villain and try to kill him was great. Imagine it happens in the future, though. Dang. Yeah, I had that thought, too, because especially now that he doesn't even remember Peter. He doesn't remember making that promise. You know, imagine they have that thing, and then Peter's just like, you promised, Ned? And he's like, what are you talking about? That'd be fun. Darth Bayou says, they just won't know he's Peter. Happy asked how he knew Mary, and he said Spider-Man. So the association is there, but they just won't connect the two. Yep, I agree. It still needs fleshed out a little bit for me, but yeah. Very crazy. Very crazy. Low Lives says, did the spell count for people off-world? They did say every in the world forgets Peter. I think it applies to off-world as well. Don't know for sure, but I definitely think it will apply to that. Oh, talented Mr. Griffin actually agrees with you, and he says, will the Guardians of the Galaxy recognize Peter since they were off-world? That's interesting. I wonder if that'll come into play. I'm not sure. Kendall says, by the way, I posted my live shot from the news on the Normies to Nerd Twitter. Great memory made for me, man. Oh, yeah, dude. I'll have to check that out. That sounds incredible, man. I'm so happy for you. That sounds super fun. All right, just a couple more super chats, guys, and then I'll hang in the chat for a little bit, and then we got to get out of here. I'm actually running behind. This stream has been incredible, but it did go a little long. So appreciate all the support, but I got to get out of here because I got to eat, and then we got a Nerd Ventures Prime stream at 1 p.m. I'll see you guys then if you're a Prime member. The Amethyst Bendu says, could MJ and Ned meet Riri at MIT? Oh, yeah. 100%. I think it's happening. Kent Wayne says, the Iron Boy Jr. magazine cover was hilarious. I love how John Watts touched on so many memorable moments. Yeah, brother, he really did. Look, the whole crew, the cast, the writers, producers, everybody, they deserve a lot of praise. This was an incredible accomplishment. This was an absolutely incredible accomplishment. Matthew says, making Maguire wear a youth pastor clothes made him look even older than they already look. LOL, I also hated the CGI on Sandman and Lizard. Okay, right on. Yeah, I loved Toby, bro. I loved it. I thought it was perfect. Thought it was absolutely perfect. So I had a really good time with it. All right, guys, that's all the super chats I'm going to go over. I'm going to go over. Much love to you all. Much love to you all. Stormy, I missed your chat. All right, let me see if I can find Stormies. I don't know. I might have missed a few. Let's see here. Geologist B, I'll say this too, says, oh, okay, yeah, the members chats. Sometimes I can't see those, especially if I'm looking over here, man. You know what I mean? Like, I appreciate you guys for real, but I can't always see those, so let me see. I see one from Crest. They didn't clean up their webs before leaving. Totally disrespectful. That's why it becomes Hobgoblin. MJ says, yeah, Watson. Okay, yeah. Okay, Stormy says, the ending of Spider-Man No Way Home defined what Spider-Man should be. Broke down to earth. Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Very comic accurate suit, but he skips MJ. Will he bang Black Cat? Absolutely. Of course. And Dan Kirkwood, welcome to the Nerd Vengers. You are a Nerd Venger now. Appreciate you. As soon as Andrew screamed liar, the whole theater laughed. Yeah, for sure. Ryan H. The end credit scene established there's no Iron Man in the Venom verse. Morbius knew who Venom is. Morbius wouldn't know who Iron Man is. Not our Vulture. Thoughts? Yeah, very possible, bro. Very possible. And apparently, they're doing a lot of reshoots with Michael Keaton. So you might be onto something there, brother. Yeah, Jake says you could see Rhino's silhouette for sure. Yeah. Hey, look, man, I tried to get to everybody today. There was a lot going on. I apologize if I missed your chat. I apologize about that, but I do appreciate the support. Thank you guys so much. It's been crazy. It's been crazy. Real fun. All right, I'm just going to read one more because it's APAR. Says, do you think Toby's comment was directed at Sony not buying the rights to other characters like Avengers? If so, that's a great line. I think it's a great line either way, but yeah, it's kind of funny, right? He's like, that's great. Nah, no Collins today. I was going to originally do Collins, but guys, like we're almost at 2 hours of stream, and I gotta get out of here. I got another video I want to record. We got a stream at 1. I was trying to have some stuff prepared for that stream, so I'd really like to. Yeah, I gotta break away. You guys are amazing. I appreciate you. Much love to you all. I may do another spoiler stream on Saturday. I can't promise it just because, like, it's holidays and there's so much going on. But I may do another stream Saturday, and maybe on Saturday we'll focus on the post-credit scenes and where we go from here. Spoilers and, you know, sort of talking about the future. But next week we'll be talking about a lot of this stuff as well, either way. So appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. Much love, guys. As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video. I just want to say, Enrique, that's hilarious. Your last super chat. I thought the same thing, bro. I thought it was gonna be him. I thought it was gonna be like, pay me rent. Much love. Who was in that purple cloud? I'm gonna try to find out, Mike, just for you. Yeah, Tabitha, me too. All right, everybody, much love to y'all. I'll see you guys soon. And remember, as Papa Josh always says,